So again, sticking with group 7, the halogens, we're going to look at displacement reactions. So this is where something that is more reactive will displace something less reactive out of a solution. So if you look on the GCSE bite-sized site, they will tell you about using sodium salts. Your textbook has potassium salts. So I'm just going to do both of those as reactions. And again, these reactions are pretty much all the same. So let's just do our group 7 down the side. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. So by a salt I mean a metal and a non-metal. So for example, if we react chlorine with sodium bromide, so that's the salt, so this is an ionic compound. What we'll find is that the chlorine, being a bit more reactive than bromine, actually thinks, oh, well, I'll have the sodium and make my outer shell full. It doesn't think because it hasn't got a brain, but you know what I mean. So because it is better at competing than the bromide, what we'll get is sodium chloride. So the chlorine has swapped places with the bromine, and the bromine's kind of miserably left out in the cold. If we do chlorine and let's do sodium fluoride and sodium fluoride, then chlorine isn't more reactive than fluorine, so we're just left at the other side with the same things that we had in. So we've got the sodium fluoride and chlorine. Nothing's going to happen because it's not strong enough to displace that, it's not reactive enough to displace it. However, coming down, if we did chlorine, let's do a potassium one this time, and potassium iodide, which is the salt of iodine, what we get is potassium chloride, because chlorine is more reactive than iodine, plus, no, we wouldn't get potassium iodide, we'd get potassium chloride plus the iodine will be coming out into the solution. So displacement reactions are where a more reactive compound will take the place of a less reactive compound in a salt, and you should certainly be describing that as part of your first criteria when you're talking about all these properties. That's part of its sort of chemical reactions. So you've now dealt with boiling points, melting points, conduction of electricity, reactions with water for group 1, and now you should have done melting points, boiling points, appearance in hexanes, the displacement reactions and the atomic structure for the group 7 elements. And again, you need to choose 2 to talk about.